So you sent me a message the other day about this thing called the block list.
So Blockout 2024, and I do want to talk about it. But before we talk about it, I just quickly want to say that it's a good thing and a bad thing that we bulk film, because sometimes Cheli and I want to discuss current events, but by the time that our video is out, it's no longer current.
Yeah.
Not saying it's not relevant, but it's just, I don't know. Like, I feel like by the time that we put it out, new things are coming out.
Yeah. So we're behind.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of Palestine, we have not really had like a full in-depth discussion about it. The only time that I can remember that we said anything about it was
when we didn't talk about Rebecca Yarros.
Yeah, so you and I made a comment, I don't remember which video it was, where we said we didn't want to talk about Iron Flame because Rebecca Yarros made a comment about Palestine that we both found kind of icky.
Yeah.
But outside of that, we haven't really said much. So right now, something that has come out and has been, I would say, pretty popular. I don't know if you've seen it on your end. It's called Blockout 2024. And it's basically, it was started by a TikToker who made the comment that why are we supporting all of these celebrities that don't really care about us?
Yeah.
Or don't really do anything for us, right? And I thought it was such an interesting thing because I kind of agree. And I don't know, like the list was really long. Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
Saw it? So for Cheli and I, we don't really ever talk about politics.
At least not on here.
Well, I mean, we do on outside of the podcast, but not really on the podcast. But I feel like we should have said something. I mean, we've had discussions, and then we would always be like, should we talk about it on the podcast? But I always felt like neither you or I were that educated on it. I still don't think I'm that educated on it. I just know that there are a lot of injustices happening in Palestine, and it's just so heartbreaking. And it's been heartbreaking to see all of the videos that have been released of the murders that are happening, the bombings. I just like everything that's been happening is just so sad. And I always feel so helpless. Like I can't really do anything. But the Blockout 2024 is recent. But before this came out, there were people saying that we shouldn't support certain companies that fund Israel.
Yeah.
For example, I know Starbucks and McDonald's are probably like the biggest ones. I know Chevron is on that list as well. There's like other things on that list, but those were like the main ones that I can think about right now. And I know that there was like a whole list of like makeup companies that you shouldn't support. And so to me, I saw that and I was like, okay, I just won't support them anymore. And I feel like that's like my biggest thing.
That's your contribution
that I can do. I mean, I wish I could help financially, but neither one of us is really
has the funds for that.
Yeah.
But it's good that you bring it up like that, because I feel like a lot of people do feel the same way, where they're helpless and they don't realize that the differences they can make can be that, like, in your eyes it may seem small, but it's if there's enough people making that difference of like making that stand of I'm not going to have Starbucks anymore, or I'm not going to have McDonald's anymore, then that's like a big enough difference if there's enough people.
And I feel like it is working, because I feel like these companies are like scrambling. I don't know, like Starbucks in particular. I know that they've been coming out with more drinks.
Yeah.
That's never been a thing before. And I feel like they're doing it because they're not really appealing to that many people as before. And then McDonald's, I know that they're always adding shit to their menu now, or it looks different from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it's because this is hurting them. And I've always felt like this kind of gives me the same vibe of, or people who say, well, why wouldn't I support these companies, like, I'm not going to make much of a difference. It kind of gives me the same vibe as people who say, well, why would I vote for this election? Like, my vote doesn't really mean much.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same vibe it gives me, because you don't realize how much of an impact your dollar really does have. And it's crazy. And I know that there's like two different sides to this block out list, right? I know that there are people who are thinking like, oh, this is your contribution. Like, really? Like, it almost feels like pointless to this side of the
because what
group.
You did was block someone. They don't really see the
marketing
immediate impact that has.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's because like you're blocking their marketing team as well from trying to reach you. So I feel like if enough people are blocking these celebrities who aren't saying anything about Palestine, or maybe not even just not saying anything, but also not really, because like I think of like The Weeknd, because I know The Weeknd hasn't said anything, but he is like donating millions. So I don't know. Like, I just feel like people don't realize how much of an impact this really can have. And also, why do you want to support someone who isn't, for Palestine, especially when they've suffered enough?
I had seen a video where someone posted like, but what if like you really like the actor and you want to support them, but they're on the block list because they attended something where it was funded by someone that is against Palestine. So I had seen something that like exactly what you said. It's not that you are immediately cutting everything off, but it's substantial enough for them to see like, oh, I should be saying something because it's affecting. Maybe
not just saying something, but like doing something. They have connections, you know. These celebrities have a higher reach that I don't think, well, at least I can't even imagine. Like, the way that they network is probably crazy.
Yeah, well, I was telling you, like, I feel like Taylor Swift is big enough and influential enough to like swing an election if she ever wanted to.
She definitely is.
And I understand what you mean, because like celebrities have that power to make a very big impact. And then when it comes to like smaller influencers, and I mean even us, we have like a small community of people that follow us, and although we can't like donate millions, there's still like bringing exposure to things and doing what you can, like your part to be able to help.
Yeah, and I think this also came out, I think the reason why Blockout 2024 became a thing, my assumption is because of the Met Gala. So there was a video that was going around where it was like the Met Gala. So it was like all these celebrities with these really beautiful dresses and their outfits paired with how the people from Palestine are being brutally murdered. So it would be like one dress and then like someone dying, so it's giving that same, I guess, notion of like, or I guess people are comparing it to like the Hunger Games. And it's so heartbreaking to see that. And I don't really understand the Met Gala. I know that I think it's about charity. I have no idea.
I think so too.
But every ticket is like $50,000.
It's a lot of money.
So I don't know. It's just that money could have been used for like Palestine, for example.
Yeah.
So that happened, but then also there was a video of Kim Kardashian, and I don't know if that's why this came out, but I think it was one of the reasons maybe. I don't know if you've seen the video where Kim Kardashian is at like some sort of event and she's like on a stage, and it kind of gives me the vibe of like she's going to present something, or it's like a questionnaire. So like there's like the crowd, right? And there's like a speaker talking. But then in the crowd, you hear someone say, "Free Palestine," and they keep screaming it over and over again. And I guess it gets to the point where Kim Kardashian can't just ignore it. Or, I mean, I guess she could have, but she looks kind of like uncomfortable because she kind of grabs her mic and is just like, "Free everybody," you know? Like, I don't know if you understand what is happening, but
yeah.
Like, okay. It's not just Palestine. It's also the Congo. Like, it's many other places that are suffering, and these celebrities are not doing anything.
But it seems like just there are certain and I don't want to name names, but there are certain celebrities where you can tell like they don't know what's going on. Like they're not doing anything, and they have so much influence, and they're not using that to the advantage. And like, because the fact that there are people who are just TikTokers who are taking that time to try to raise awareness, and it's like, here, just buy a t-shirt, all the proceeds will go to helping. Like, it's just little things like that,
but that's a huge help too.
Yeah,
I mean,
so imagine if that was something that like Taylor Swift did.
Oh my god, I feel like Taylor Swift has such an impact on
she's huge
our world. It's kind of crazy. But I do just want to shout out like Kehlani Macklemore, Bella Hadid. Like, I feel like they've been like such strong voices for Palestine, and I just wish there would be more celebrities. Like, there's certain celebrities that I wish would have said something. But then again, I don't know, maybe they are like doing something behind the scenes, like, for example, The Weeknd. Like, I don't know.
Well, to repeat what you said, there are people in the world like us that, like, after we turn off the cameras and after all that, we have our 9 to 5s. We have our lives that we're trying to maintain. And sometimes it's not possible to donate funds because, you know, you focus on yourself, you focus on your family. But it's still possible to make the little differences of like maybe not going to Starbucks when you're gonna get a coffee, or not going to McDonald's when you're feeling fast food, like things like that. Not going to Chevron to get gas, but somewhere else. There's still ways you can make differences without like explicitly donating. Like, there's still things you can do.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I think talking about it is also really important. So in terms of the block list, there's certain names on there where I feel very like conflicted, because I know that they're very philanthropic.
Yeah.
They're very giving compared to other celebrities. So in my heart, I really feel like they would help, you know?
Yeah.
They would like donate for Palestine. So I don't know. Like, I guess I would say just do your own research.
Yeah.
But I think this is a good movement though. Like, I know that some people think it's pointless, but if enough people are blocking a company, I think it would definitely hurt them.
Oh, yeah. I think doing your own research is also really important. I feel like the news isn't as accessible as it used to be. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's accessible in different ways. But I feel like today's youth sometimes forget that news sources can be biased.
Yeah.
So to just be aware when you're looking for news out there.
And it's kind of sad to realize how our government is trying to, I don't know what the word is, but like trying to block us, I guess, because I honestly believe that's the reason why they were harping on TikTok.
The TikTok ban?
Yeah, the TikTok ban, because obviously that's how many people even realized what was happening in Palestine or in the Congo. Like, I just feel like they're just trying to control us, honestly, and we can go on forever.
Ignorance is bliss, unfortunately, and that's you know how it wasn't that like a really big reason why people didn't go out for Black Friday. It's like, why are you going out to support like your government financial situation when there's so much going on? And like, I guess this Black Friday that had just passed was like one of the lowest.
Yeah, but then again, it's not really like a huge deal, really.
No, not anymore.
Well, in terms of like how much you're saving to go on that specific night.
Yeah. But that it's a heavy topic, but I feel like it's good to be able to have, because the book we're going to talk about, not at all like this topic we're having. It's a very light-hearted book.
Yeah, we debated holding off on the topic for a book that would have more relevance, but honestly,
I feel like it kind of is what life is like, though, because you could still, you know, you're still going to go out there. We still work our 9 to 5s just because, how should I say this? You could feel emotional about what's going on because it's a really sad and heartbreaking thing, but also like you could still have a conversation with someone about this and make a difference and still be you, I guess. I don't want to make it sound insensitive, but you know where I'm
like,
going with it.
Still trying to help the situation, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah, there's ways to make differences. And it's good to know, even if it's just like amongst friends talking about books, it's good to talk about.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of, I mean, to me, this is more impactful for like big celebrities, you know what I mean? But I know that people want everyone to discuss this, which I agree, it is important. But obviously, if you have a bigger reach, I think it would be huge. Like Beyonce. I wish Beyonce would talk about it too.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
But again, this book is nothing like like what we're talking about. So.
Yeah, but good to know. Good to be informed.
Yeah.
That being said, do you think male friendships matter? Do you think that bros and
more bros?
Do you think bromances can fix your life?
I really hope so.
Welcome to the Book Fix Podcast, a podcast where we fix lives one bro at a time. Bro edition. I'm your host, Cheli.
And I'm your host, Yajaira.
Switching gears, because this book that we are talking about is a book that both Yajaira and I saw at a Barnes & Noble's a long time ago. And I totally forgot the name of it. I just remember the cover. And I remember wanting to read it and thinking like, wow, this seems like a really good LGBTQ book.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too, but...
Yeah. So we are going to be talking about the Bromance Book Club by Lyssa Kay Adams. And, oh my gosh. Let me give you a premise.
Okay.
Let me give you kind of like a little background on our characters. So this story centers around Gavin, who is a baseball major leagues player. And he just had his big break. Like he had a really good game. And because of that, he's being scouted, I think. Or like, you know, there's a lot of opportunity coming for him. And he's just like, I'm so happy. Like baseball's going well. I love my wife. I love my life. My 2 twins, beautiful. And he goes home just super pumped to go have sex with his beautiful wife, Thea. And then she orgasms. And he's like, wait a minute. That was different than before.
He's like, I've never heard you make that sound before.
In which he realizes that his wife, their entire 7 years of marriage, has been faking orgasms every single time.
That is crazy.
So it's such a weird premise for a book, but like the whole book is basically like, I don't know how to get through to my wife. I love her so much, but because of that, we had a big fight. I walked out on her because I was so angry, and she was angry too. And now she wants a divorce. But I don't want to divorce my wife. Like, I didn't mean to walk out on her.
Also, it was his reaction. He was so angry with her when he realized that she had been faking her orgasms. And she was just like, why are you angry?
Yeah.
And so then he walks out and she's like, yeah, you know what? This is not working out.
Fuck this. So she is ready to divorce this man, and he doesn't know what to do. So here comes the Brotherhood of Men. The bros. His bros are there for him. The story starts with him. He's getting drunk in his friend's basement. And they're just like, wow, we've never seen him this low. Like, what happened? And of course, he doesn't want to admit this very intimate issue with his friends. So he's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry. It's just, you know.
She wants a divorce, but I'm not going to tell you why.
Yeah. And so then they tell him like, you know what? I think we can help, but we're part of this thing you might call an organization.
Oh my God.
I call it
Brotherhood.
I call it a Brotherhood of Men. And we meet when the clock strikes 3. Like, please meet at my house, but first of all, you can't tell anyone about this organization.
What happens in this brohood stays in this brohood.
Thank you, bro. And so then he's like, you can't tell anyone, but you also cannot go see your wife. Okay? That's the biggest thing.
So what does he do? He goes to see his wife.
Yeah, so okay. His wife, because this is a dual perspective story, right?
Yeah.
So his wife, her name is Thea, and she is an artist. And because she got pregnant fairly young and it was unexpected, she got married really young, and she kind of had to drop her whole like art career.
She basically had to drop her whole life because she didn't really do anything besides just stay by Gavin's side.
And it's now hitting her how much she lost because of him. So she's over here like, I want to go back to school. I want to get back into art. I want to be able to do everything that I've wanted to do that I had to stop because my husband's job came first. So she's at home and she has a mallet and she's just like, I've been wanting to get rid of this wall for such a long time and I'm going to do it now. So she's swinging at this wall while her two twin daughters are just kind of like, oh, mom's just doing that. And her sister, who is now living with her after the split, is just like, you know what? I agree with you. I hated that man from the very beginning. When I said he was good for you, I lied.
Oh my God.
Don't believe it. Mm-hmm. So then she's living this new like independent life, trying to find herself. Mm-hmm. And fucking Gavin walks in and is like, hey babe.
Hey girl, did you miss me?
About me walking out. Oh, sorry. I was just really caught me off guard. I thought you liked sex with me. And, you know, he's very like, I don't want to say he's shy, but this is kind of like a conversation he didn't think he had to have with his wife.
Yeah.
And I think even the conversation gets a little heated because she is completely dismissing him like, no, I don't care.
Yeah. Like
she don't want to talk to you.
She doesn't want to see him because I think it was just too soon for him to go see her. And so it was still too fresh for her. She was still very angry.
And he dealt with it so wrong because he was like, I want you and I need you.
And I gotta have you.
And he grabs her by the neck and just kisses her. And honestly, because even then, it kind of, like she was kind of down, but then she was like, it's not worth it.
Yeah, like she felt, like she kissed him a little bit. And then she thought about it and like kind of like shoved him off of her.
Yes. So, he goes to the Brotherhood at the strike of three. At the strike of three, he goes to the Brotherhood, and it's just like them candles. It's like dark, but they're just in the living room, just a bunch of dads. No, but it's all of his baseball friends, I think, and all of these men are in this group where they have all had marital or relationship issues. And they're like, how do you think we stay with our wives? It's not because everything's perfect. It's because the Brotherhood exists. So welcome to the Bromance Book Club. And he's like, a book club? Like, a book club's not going to save my marriage. And so they're like, no, you don't get it. Like, we read romance books about these perfect men that are written by women. It's like getting in their minds and understanding what they're looking for in a man.
I feel like this could work if you're reading the type of like romance book she really likes.
Can you imagine? They're like, here's Den of Vipers.
Oh my
You
God.
got this.
You got this, king.
But it's so funny because they're like, we're going to recommend you a Regency book because like, oh, them.
They know how to romance.
They know how to romance. And honestly, this book, like 3 on the BB scale. He's like, BB?
What's BB?
And everyone at the same time was like, book boner. It's like, what the heck? What kind of club is this?
But don't worry. You'll get it once you read through the book. You gotta
read it. So he's given this book and he's like, this, what? Like, why? I went to my wife and, you know, I think it was okay. I kissed her and they were just like,
oh my God. Gavin.
You've set us behind months of work.
Yeah, these guys are stressed.
Everyone pull out books that will help and they're just like going through it. Like,
That's so fucking funny.
Maybe Emily Henry? I don't know. He's just like,
ooh, that would be good.
Oh my gosh. So that's like the whole premise of the book. And dude, I was so down. I was so down.
I thought it was a really interesting premise.
Yeah.
I had never read anything like it. So I liked the idea. Even though I thought it was going to be LGBTQIA, I was still like satisfied because I thought it was a really like unique plot.
And I like this like view of like tearing down the idea that only women and like people who are LGBTQ can enjoy romance novels. Like we have Gavin, who has a lot of toxic traits that have come with being a man, and him being in this book club, slowly tearing those down and realizing like, hey, my wife is also just a woman. Like I need to value her interest. Just because we've been married for so long doesn't mean I can't, like, you know, bring life to our love life. So, dude, I was so down for this. So I really like the way this book is written, because he's slowly reading through this Regency book, and he's over here reading, and he's like, damn, how did these bitches do it?
But he's kind of like vibing with it. He's doing his homework.
Do you remember what the Regency book was about?
Yes. It was about a marriage and convenience, no?
Yeah.
And basically I forgot their names, but the guy humiliates the girl because he said something in front of the ton. He said something in front of the society. The mamas. And they were just like, And so the girl was like, I'll never forgive you for that. I'll give you babies, but I'll never forgive you for that. And so he wanted to prove to her that, no, I really do love you. I want to be with you.
Isn't his whole thing like trying to make her fall in love again?
Yeah. So when Gavin read that, he was like, oh my God, this shit is perfect.
I'm the Duke. I'm him. So
really
like...
is.
I really like how he would read it, and he would step back and be like, okay, I don't remember the dude's name. Sylvester? I just know that he would refer to him in his mind sometimes like, don't fail me now. And then he would say something super romantic.
He would be trying to channel him. Like
and there was this one point where he was talking to Thea, and she said like, what he ended up getting was, I'm going to use what I learned, and I'm going to create kind of like a plan. And I told her, like, he tells Thea, like, I want this to work. So please give me until Christmas for me to win you back.
And Thea was reluctant because she really didn't want to. She felt like it was just going to be a never ending circle.
Yeah.
And her sister was also like against her trying to save her marriage.
Yep. I forget why she agrees, but like I think she has like there's like an inkling of hope.
No, wasn't it like how to lose a guy in 10 days? You know how like they both have like plots against each other? So she was like, oh well, it doesn't matter anyway because I'm just never gonna be around. I'm just never gonna go out with him anyway.
But then what she gains out of it is that he would give them the house, completely pay for the house, and fund everything. And he's still willing to give all that. And he's like, and I'd be out of your life. But you at least have to give this a try. And so she agreed. But I thought it was funny because like she was like, but what's the point? Like, what do you gain out of this? And she's like, don't let me down, Duke. And he's like, what I gain out of this is your love. And I was just like, damn.
Because that was literally exactly what he had read the night before of the whole story, where at the end he was like, I gain you and your love.
That's so funny because when you read it, Thea's perspective is like, damn, he's kind of like suave.
She's like, I've never heard him say anything like this before.
I would have loved it if he just added an accent and just like, oh, what are you doing?
Why are you speaking in Old English?
Why are you wearing Regency era clothes?
He's like, Bridgerton's out, babe. Haven't you heard?
I do really like though that it's a process. You know, he's not automatically good at talking. Like he will have moments where he's like,
he slips up.
And they're bad slip ups.
Yeah.
Like I had to like put it down for a bit. There was one that was like, what I think it was about her going back to school, and he was like,
and he was just like, well, you didn't ask me about it, or you like, I don't remember, but it was something.
I think it was that, because then she replied like, I'm sorry, I didn't know I had to ask for permission.
Yeah.
Like, no, I didn't mean it like that, baby.
He's like, no, foot in the mouth. I felt so bad for him because he was like trying.
Yeah.
But then he would say stupid shit and she would just be like,
Oh God, it really hurt me too. The fact that his kids didn't know that they were in the middle of a divorce.
Oh, I know. They were so like innocent. And he didn't want them to find out either because he was like, Christmas is coming. I can't do this to my girls.
Yeah. And it hurt me too when they would like, he would be with his daughters. And there was one specifically how anytime he would do something for her, she would be like, I don't want you to do it. I want mommy to do it. And he's just like, oh,
please.
Sorry.
Please let me do it.
Oh, gosh. So he follows this book. And while he's reading this book, it's like slowly pushing like, you need to make her fall in love again by like little gifts. And in his mind, he's like, Thea hates gifts.
Yeah.
That's why I never get her. We don't flirt because she doesn't like flirting.
Yeah, she finds it awkward or something.
And his book club is like, no, why would you say that? Like, every girl loves when you flirt with them. Every girl, they're gonna say they don't like it.
Yeah.
But they just love being like valued.
They like the little like shock factor.
Yeah. And so
or more so like they like not having to ask for it.
Yeah. I thought it was really cute that their proposition was that every single night they had to kiss goodnight.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was a good proposition.
Yeah, because it was so sweet. Mm-hmm. And there was at one point, the first night they were supposed to kiss goodnight. ¿Cómo se llama? They got in a fight.
Yeah, they did.
And he left, and he was like, "Shit, it's the first night." So he like went up to the main room, the main bedroom, and she was in there, and he had to knock to come inside, and he was kind of like, "This is so." It's crazy because she's my wife and I have to come in here and like a school kid basically like ask to kiss my wife. But he still was just kind of like, I don't know. Like if you're down
to give me a little kiss, that would be really sweet.
But it was very brief. This one was. So
she really did not want to make the marriage work.
No.
Which I didn't really understand, but like I guess
because like from what I understood is that she had so much trauma from her childhood that kind of built up. Mm-hmm. And it built up in a very bad way and he didn't make it better.
Yeah.
So,
but just the way that she would act, I felt like, damn, she really resents him.
Yeah. I mean, 7 years.
No orgasms. I guess, yeah.
You remember that first time they, I think it was one of the first times they kissed. He asked her like, so when you wouldn't orgasm, would you go finish yourself? And she was like, yeah, sometimes. And he got hella, that was the reason he walked out.
So mad, yeah. Why, this is my thing. Why are you going to ask a question that could piss you off? It's like, you know the answer to that question.
Yep.
Don't ask it.
Well, that was at the beginning. He wasn't through the book yet.
I don't care.
He wasn't through the holy book. So,
Gavin, come on, Gavin. Think a little bit. Do you
remember, though, the first time that they kissed? They were in the bathroom, and he was trying to listen to his bros, and, like, they were like, don't put your hands on your wife. And he used, like, one of the words from the Regency book, because they had kissed, and it was, like, a really heated kiss. And he was like, damn, Thea, you tell me, and I'll put my hands on you. If you want it. But he was really struggling.
Yeah. He was like, please. He was like begging.
Yeah. But I thought it was really, it's like, it's such a sweet story. It was such a slow burn. Mm-hmm. But it was really sweet because it was basically him like falling in love with his wife again. Because there were like, the whole story, he is relearning things that he knew about his wife, but it kind of just left because,
he's been so busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and then also I thought it was interesting that when they had first met, she pretty quickly got pregnant.
Yeah.
Afterwards, like when they first started dating. And so then they got married and everything was so quick and fast. And she kind of had this realization of like, damn, some of the girls, like the other baseball guys' girlfriends, like trap their guys. She was thinking like, damn, I didn't trap him, but like I feel like I did.
Yeah.
And then she would feel like she was trapped. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was an interesting like topic.
So I really liked the development of their relationship again, because there were moments that I liked, but I liked the fact that they had to go on one date every week. And she was a very punctual person, so she had like her whole itinerary in like a calendar in the kitchen, and he would add like dates like on the calendar. So in order to make it work, he would do little acts of like service, like, you know what, you work too hard, I'll make breakfast, I will take care of the kids, you focus on you today. And she was like, yeah, you know what, I am. And she would kind of do it like out of spite. I'm not even gonna go get groceries, I'm gonna go get my nails done. And he was like, yeah, great, you deserve it. But it was just like, it was sweet because like that is like a marriage is a partnership, and it was finally being like one after 7 years of it not being like that. And I really liked their first date, which was when they went dancing. Do you remember that?
Oh, when the friends were like watching him?
Yeah, because, wait, no, that wasn't the first. No, it was the first date. Before that, though, it was the Thanksgiving dinner where he was like to the friend's house, and the friend like hit on his wife.
Oh my God.
And he's like, I'm sorry, you can't control me. Can't be tamed by Miley Cyrus.
Oh my God. And then also, Thea has always felt very like uncomfortable / awkward with the other girlfriends, because some of them just like, well, one of them does not like her.
Yeah.
She's made it very obvious.
And Gavin was like, I never noticed. You know, but it's like he never took the time to notice it.
I guess now that I think about it more, damn, 7 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Of unsatisfying.
But I don't know. Like, I get it, because I feel like...
Well, think about it.
It happens.
Yeah.
No. I was going to say, like, I feel like some people just build so much resentment that it blows up, and that's why it's, like, divorce, done, right? But, like, if you would just, like, communicate, and if she would have just told him, hey, I haven't orgasmed in, like, 3 weeks.
And if he
3 months.
if he was just observant, too.
Yeah.
Like, it would have made a big difference. So, at this Thanksgiving thing, his friend hits on his wife, and it's a bro from the brotherhood.
Not the bro.
And he punches him, and Thea gets super angry and is like, don't think that your macho-ness that you're trying to, like, show right now is going to get you to, like, be with me, because that's not what you do here.
Yeah.
And it completely like down a peg.
Start from the top.
Yeah. Oh my God, I always felt bad because I felt like he would take like 1 step forward and like 10 steps back.
Yeah.
But
1 step forward, 3 steps back by Olivia Rodrigo.
But they go on this date to a restaurant where there's dancing. And it's funny because the bro that was hitting on his wife, he was like, I need to go watch to make sure you don't make a fool of yourself. And he's like, no, you're not gonna go watch me. And so they're out eating, and is that the same Pinterest date one? It is, right?
Yeah.
It's like a whole day. So the day starts with them at the art store, the art supply store, and she's buying stuff. And I think it's really sweet because she starts throwing things in there for her daughters, but then he takes them out and he's like, love that about you, but it's not about our daughters today. It's about you. Yeah. And then she kisses him. I was like, I don't know why I did that. And he's like,
that might have been after, actually.
I think it was that day, because that's when they see the 2 men following.
Oh, you're right. Because she was like, oh, I don't know why, but I feel like these 2 guys are following us. And then she notices them again.
Yeah, at the restaurant. And then turns out it's his friends. And
the bros.
And it's funny because he's like at the restaurant. He's like, will you excuse me? And he goes to the restroom and both bros are there. And he's like, what the fuck? She noticed it. Like, you guys need to get out of here. I know how to handle my own things. And they're like, take her dancing. That's what they like. Does she like to dance? It's like, yeah, but like we don't dance. It's like, no, take her dancing. And it's funny because there's a fan who's like peeing, and he's just like, wait, are you Gavin? Big fan. Take her dancing. Just go ahead.
That was so fucking funny.
And so then he goes out and he asks her to dance, and it's like really sweet.
It is really sweet. I really like that moment. See, it's like the little acts, you know?
Yeah.
I can really like build that love again.
Oh my God. That was really sweet. He does the helping his daughters and helping her by helping the daughters. He becomes more active in parenting. He tries talking to the sister, but she's very not gonna budge. I thought that was gonna be a bigger issue, honestly.
The sister?
Yeah, because I thought her say in it would make Thea not want to be in a relationship with him.
Well, it kind of felt like the sister would have like chosen her sister over Gavin.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well,
I felt bad for them because Thea and her sister were just like traumatized by the relationship that their parents had.
It really sucks. And Thea is the one that has to eventually tell her sister, like, I'm not gonna run away from happiness just because you're scared of it. Ooh. So
yeah.
Sister
did piss me off though.
I really liked when Gavin was reading the Regency book and he got to the spicy scenes.
Oh my god.
And he was like, oh my god.
He was like, I need to try this
Why
out.
didn't I do that shit before? And there's like a line in there. It's like a super spicy line. And he's like, saving it in my memory bank right here. Gonna use that later. And that same day, Thea comes home and just sits on his lap. And he's already like turned on, I think. So he's just like, oh my god, is this like a book boner psychosis or something? Like, am I stuck in a fucking void? What's happening? And then
Void by Melanie Martinez. Oh my god, we're doing that again.
Love it. So then he they just start going at it, and she she can't, huh? And does he get embarrassed? I don't remember what happens.
I don't remember, but I don't think it ends well.
But I don't think it ends that badly either. Like, I think it just ends kind of like, this sucks. You know, like, because even she's like, I guess I just can't. You know?
Doesn't she get mad at him?
I think she just gets mad at the situation and kind of just blows up. And so he goes back to his room and it's just like, I can't do it. I can't make my wife come.
And I'm so fucking horny.
And then that's when he tells the Brotherhood, like, I can't, that's the reason. And they're like, it's okay. Brothers, okay. One big hug, please. And like, they basically tell him, like, you know, you love your wife enough. So this is going to work. Like, this is going to be fine. But you have to remember, like, the G-spot's important, but so is the emotional G-spot.
Oh my god.
When there's blockage in your sexual life, there's blockage somewhere else. Like, something's going on. So
isn't that when they're like, has she ever opened up to you?
Yeah.
About like her family, her childhood is super important.
Yeah.
It's everything.
So they're basically like breaking it down. And I think it's around this time where they're at his house because Thea's working and the daughters are with the sister at like ballet class. And it's funny because they're all sitting in his living room with like not hundreds, but it's like several romance books. And they're just like discussing like, yeah, opening an Emily Henry. Like, and then you just hear the car and they're like, bros, scatter.
Everyone get the fuck out.
And so they start putting the books in a bag and he just sets it to the side first. And they walk in. It's just the bros like, hey.
Trying to be all like cash.
Yeah, just talking about bro stuff.
Talking about
totally not a book club.
And baseball and basketball.
Ooh, yeah. And they're just like, oh, okay.
Super suspicious.
Yeah, it's like, so he gets the books that were all in a bag and he puts them in his closet in the guest room. So he's just like, okay, whatever. I'll just try talking to her. And he does. I think there's a moment where they don't have sex, but they're naked in a bed together. And she opens up like, my dad is remarrying after cheating on my mom, his next wife. Like, that's just a pattern. And just men can't be trusted.
So he's been getting remarried like many times.
And he's currently getting remarried again. And he's like, I don't want to go to that because what am I supporting? You know, he was never in my life. And why do I have to be there for his a part of his life that's going to ruin someone else's life? And I think that's when they like start making out and she's about to orgasm. I forget like how, I think it's just his fingers, but I thought it was really like smooth because he uses what he learned in the Regency book and he's like, next time it won't just be my fingers. And she's like super turned on, but he's like, yes. Like, I knew
he's like channeling the Duke. He's like, you've never failed me.
And he's like direct quoting the book.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's copyrighted.
Yeah, you can't say that. That's the Duke's word. So he
needs to cite him.
So there's gonna be this big event where they're gonna have to go for, it's like a baseball thing. They're gonna have to stay at a hotel overnight, and both of them are like, we're gonna have sex. It's gonna happen. It's totally gonna happen. And so when they go to this event, that lady that is really mean to her is having marital problems with her husband, who is one of the baseball players. And she's just like, I'm only having problems because Thea brought her problems into the friend group.
Oh, God.
And that's why. And Thea's just kind of like, oh my God, you know what's something we never mentioned? Gavin has a stutter.
Oh, yeah.
He has a stutter. And the reason that him and Thea, like, why Thea's so special to him is also, she was one of the first people he had ever dated that when he stuttered, she wouldn't look away in disgust or in awkwardness. She would wait.
Yeah, until he's done.
And so then Rachel, which is, oh my God, well, remembered her name.
Oh my God, it's coming back to you.
So Rachel, while she's talking to all the girls in the restroom and Thea's just kind of listening, she makes like a comment like, oh, I bet that he's bad in bed. I bet he stutters in bed too. And I think Gavin hears it too. Like, I don't know where.
Gavin doesn't hear it.
Oh, okay.
It's just Thea.
But I know that Thea goes up and is like, you know what? Like, whatever's happening in my marriage it's not the reason yours is sucking. Mm-hmm. Like, yours is bad just because it's bad. And honestly, like, my husband, he does stutter in bed and it's goddamn sexy. Mm-hmm. And she walks out and like talks to Gavin and says exactly what, like, you know, she said to the girls. And he's thinking to himself, had this been Gavin page 1, had this been a beginning of the story Gavin, I would have been so embarrassed. Yeah. I would have been like, don't fucking talk about her sex like that. But me being the Duke Gavin, like me
being newly transformed,
me being on book 3 of that series,
third eye wide open,
that's so fucking hot. Wait, can I just say, we never talked about this, but there was one point during the book club, they were like, yeah, you're gonna have to open her emotional G-spot, because just like when the Duke does this for the princess and he just covers his ears, spoilers.
I thought that was so funny. He really didn't want anything to be spoiled for him.
I know, but they were at this party, she says that, and he's turned on, and he's just like, right now, let's go to the hotel right now. And she's like, really? And they drive over to the hotel, and it's funny because I forget how it describes it, but it's like, I'm not really going fast because he's following the rules of the road, but I'm in such a hurry. I'm in like such a fucking hurry. And they get there. And they just like are all over each other. And I think he eats her out, right? That's like the first thing. Mm-hmm. And she orgasms. And then he's just like, that's just one of the many, babe. Tricks up my sleeve. Tricks up my sleeve.
He's like, hold on, babe, give me 1 second. Pulls out the book.
Okay, hold on.
Skimming through it.
Chapter.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
I annotated it. I swear, babe. Let me just find it. But he's just so. She like hella. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, she has a great night. One for the girlies, and so she is so into him again, and it's like, yes, our marriage is good. We're good. I'm glad this worked out, and I chose you. And then he is just like, well, what do we do next? You know, like, and she's just like, well, we can tell the girls, like, you can go back into the room, and everything is looking bright, you know. But then when she gets home, she tells the sister, and the sister is like, I can't believe you chose him. Like, after everything he's done, like, that's really what your choice is. Mm-hmm. And it was like, yeah, but he wasn't, you know, he's been working on himself and stuff. It's like, well, if you really think so, why don't you go look at what's in his closet in the guest room?
I thought it was going to be something fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Books.
I know. I wouldn't even look at it. I'd just be like, okay.
Okay. But she finds it's the fucking Duke book. It's like 4 times the size because of all his sticky notes.
Oh my God.
And she looks through it and it's like, weird. Everything he's ever said, it's highlighted. It's like a little sticky note worked on Thea. Well, thanks, Duke.
5 out of 5.
Thanks, King. And so then she approaches him. Is like, has everything you've been saying to me been a lie? Like, am I a joke to you? You're just pulling shit out of a book?
No. What?
Wait, babe. Fuck.
I was
just like looking through the book. Is the acknowledgements doing anything for you? Should I say that? Dedicate it to my wife? Like, no.
I just feel like, I don't know. To me, I would kind of just be like, okay, that's kind of cute, I think.
Oh, you read books? That's chill.
That's chill. I thought you didn't read. Okay, thank God.
Okay. But she was really offended. But he immediately like, you know what? Third eye open. That scene from After Earth with Jaden Smith when he's like, I'm not scared anymore. That was him.
I've never seen it.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. But it was like, I'm not scared anymore. So he was like, you know what? I've worked my, excuse my language,
ass off.
Fucking ass off trying to win you back. But what I realized is like I've changed, and I'm trying to be the best me I can be, and I've learned to re-love what our relationship was, you know, because he relearned his wife, and it was such a beautiful thing. But he's like, but at the end of the day, like the things holding you back, I cannot change.
Mm-hmm.
That's up to you to change, and you can't keep putting a block in our relationship because you're unhappy with the relationship of your family. And she's like, what the fuck? Why are we talking about? It's like, no, you need to.
She's like, I'm not unhappy.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I just talked to my dad like last week.
Yeah, I told him to fuck himself, but like still talk to him.
No, wasn't she like avoiding or ignoring their calls?
Yes. So then he was like, you need to figure out you. And you know what? If anything changes, you call me. But if a divorce is what you need to fix you, then that's what we'll get.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go baseball with my bros.
Baseball without you, babe. That's basketball.
No, but he's just like, he goes out and she's just like, fuck. Because that wasn't the feeling she wanted. It was like.
And I feel like she really didn't think that she had any faults at all. So when he said that to her, she was like, damn, wait, have I been unfair?
Mm-hmm.
Because he was really trying.
Yep. And then I think she has a conversation with her sister one more time. And then that's where she tells her, like, you can't keep wanting to see me unhappy just because you're unhappy. Like, if I want to be happy and I want to try to be happy, then that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. And the sister was really sad, though, because she was like, I thought that you and I would always choose one another. Mm-hmm. Which is a little bit confusing, though, because does this mean that this is how she felt when she first got married?
But she liked Gavin.
I thought she did, too, but I don't know.
But
she seemed to hate him, though.
Yeah, but it got better. Mm-hmm. But Thea decides, you know what? I'm going to go to the wedding, and I'm going to go see my dad and talk to him finally.
And tell him to go fuck himself.
So she goes to the wedding, crashes into the dad, and she asks him, like, finally, this question that's been sitting with her is like, do you regret having me? Because her nickname,
so sad. Oh my god, I forgot about her nickname.
Her nickname growing up was Shotgun, and she thought that was her nickname because she was the firstborn. But they had a shotgun wedding because the wife was pregnant and kind of trapped the husband down.
Mm-hmm.
And
so that's why she was kind of spiraling, because she started to feel like, damn, did I trap my husband? Mm-hmm. And that's how everything started. And I just feel so bad for her.
And the dad basically goes like, you are the biggest thing I don't regret. Oh, like I regret not being there enough for you, because you became something so great, so big. And what did I become? Like I wasn't a father to you, and I couldn't be part of your achievements, but I wanted to be. Yeah. And, you know, I just want you to know that you were never a regret. And then she's over here like, okay, Dad, give me a moment.
It starts to cry. Yeah.
I fucked up. Gavin's in fucking New York, and I'm over here at a fucking wedding. Like, yeah. And so
she even thought to herself, like, damn, I should be like working hard for my marriage.
Yeah. And it's funny because she's like, if I leave now, I can get to New York. Mm-hmm. So then meanwhile, with the bros, they're just like, how's it going with Thea? And he's like, I called it off. I did the thing that the Duke would have wanted me to do.
Oh God.
I pulled a reverse Duke. I told her that she needed to come first. And she did. So that she also needed to prioritize, you know, herself and her mind and just like her mental health. And if that meant not being married to me, then she's not married to me. And I think, I forget how this plays out, but I think they're like, so that means you're going to divorce her? And he's like, oh, fuck? Yeah, I guess that's what it means. Oh my God, what do I do?
Yeah,
They're
he
like,
started panicking.
you need to make a grand gesture. Where is she right now? It's like, I think she's at her dad's wedding. It's like, okay, we need to go over there. And so all the bros just go on a plane to go over. And so she's thinking at the wedding, like, I need to go find Gavin. And they're saying the vows, I think.
Yeah.
And I think he has like a big, well, he's supposed to have a big I object moment.
But he does it at the wrong time.
Yeah, he does.
He's like, I object. It's like, first of all, we were not there yet.
Yeah, and then everyone's kind of turning like, who the fuck is, wait, do you know that guy? I was like, oh yeah, that's my husband. Hey, he's like, okay, hey, excuse me. And he's like breaking through the crowd and she is also. And then they're finally in front of each other and she's like, I'm so sorry. I love you so much. And like, I know what I was doing and I know that you've worked hard. I got mad because I thought that I deserved it. And him channeling the Duke, it's okay. My princess. My princess. I love you. But they make up and they choose each other and they have a happy ever after.
Oh my God. No fucking way. They choose each other?
This book was so good.
Were you crying?
No, I was just so into it. I remember I was about to go grocery shopping with my sister. And she came home and she's like, okay, we should go now before it gets dark. And I'm just like, I'm like 50 pages away. Like, you need to wait. I need to finish this.
No. Wait, hold on. I could have sworn you texted me that you were crying over the Bromance Book Club. I could have sworn I heard
at night, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
I don't remember when I had texted you. I think I did cry then.
Because you were super emotional, and I was really angry about something that happened at work. Remember?
That was just my time of the month playing with me. No, but yeah, I do remember loving the book though. I was so fucking. This is the first book I read in our batch. In our batch for this.
This batch. Okay. Yeah. I was like, which batch?
No, this is the first one I read, and honestly, it was such a good to get out of a reading slump.
Yeah, it honestly really is. I really, really enjoyed it too. I thought it was funny. Like, the premise is so funny.
Yeah.
And like charming. I thought it was cute that all of these bros are just trying to help out a bro. Yeah. Fix his marriage.
I honestly don't know what I want to rate it, because when I read it, I was like, is there anything I disliked? And I think the thing I disliked the most was kind of like the sister. But even then, like, now speaking about it with you, it does make sense why she was the way she was.
Yeah. For me, there were some moments where I felt like Thea was too harsh. I don't know. Like, I wish she would have at least talked to the sister about like why she's acting this way, you know? So that maybe I could understand why she's so like, ugh.
But I think overall, just the comedy was really good. The story, like the premise of it was so funny and so cute. And I'm glad that it worked out at the end.
Yeah, me too. I love that he was so into the Duke's story. That was so funny.
You think he's going to continue them?
Yes. He has to. Come on, he's a fan.
The Bromance Book Club.
So funny. And then also Thea went back to school. Did we say that?
Yeah.
We did? Okay. So now she's focusing on herself, which I think is a huge step for her to be happy.
Yeah. The
end.
What did you give it?
Love wins.
Love wins.
I'd probably give it like a high 4.
Yeah, me too, actually. I don't think it reaches a 5 yet.
I don't think so either, but it was really good.
I loved it. It was really, really good. Do you have anything else you want to say about this book?
I just want to say that I love the premise of this. So if anybody knows any stories that are just like bros helping bros with love, that would be so cute. And I think we would both really.
Is this only a one-off?
I don't know. I feel like it could be a series.
I feel like it can too.
I'm pretty sure it's a series. It has to be.
Oh my gosh. Hold on, I feel like I'm hacking the system right now. Like so many things open. Dude, it's hot in here. Yeah. Yes, it is a series.
Knew it.
The second one is called Undercover Bromance.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Braden Mack thinks reading romance novels makes him an expert in love, but he'll soon discover that real life is better than fiction. Liv Papandreas has a dream job as a pastry chef at Nashville's hottest restaurant. Too bad. Brandon Mack, by the way, is the one that hit on his wife, right? Too bad the celebrity chef owner is less than charming behind kitchen doors. After she catches him harassing a young hostess, she confronts him and gets fired. Liv vows revenge, but she'll need assistance to take on the powerful chef. Unfortunately, that means turning to Brandon Mack. When Liv blackballed from other restaurant scenes, the charismatic nightclub entrepreneur offers to help expose her ex-boss, but she is suspicious of his motives. He'll need reinforcements. The Bromance Book Club.
Okay.
Liv. That's the sister.
Is it?
Yeah, that is the sister. So no, Brandon Mack is the flirty one, I think. And Liv is the sister. Wow, okay.
I don't remember.
I want to see a little bit more of... I love Gavin. I want to see more of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think we could end it. Thank you for everyone who's listening to us in audio form, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcasts on. Thank you so much. If you can leave a rating of 5 stars and a review recommending us a different read, that would be amazing. If you also want to help us with exposure, the best type of exposure is through word of mouth. So if you can tell your friends, your family, your loved ones about us, that would be great. If you want to support us and you have a little bit of money, what can they do?
So we do have a Patreon, and at the moment it really just serves as a way for our listeners to let us know that you really appreciate how much work we've put onto our podcast. Right now there's not much on the Patreon though, but please stay tuned. Please be patient for us. You can find us on patreon.com/bookfix. But if you don't want the commitment of monthly, you can find us on Ko-fi, which is ko-fi.com/thebookfix, or buymeacoffee.com/thebookfix.
I'll read a negative, by the way. That's what I'm looking up. If you want to support us and are supporting us on YouTube, thank you so much. If you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because we post every Tuesday and Thursday. If you want to support us on social media, we do have a Instagram and a Threads at the Bookfix Pod, THEBOOKFIXPOD, and we also have a Goodreads and a TikTok at the Bookfix, THEBOOKFIX. So let's go ahead and read some reviews about this book. I will read a negative one.
Okay, mine comes from Tony. They give it 5 out of 5, and they wrote, heartwarming. It's great to know, or rather have a bookish confirmation of something that I have always believed in. There are good men out there who care about their families, wives, and children to the extent of doing whatever it takes to make their marriage work, even if it is reading a Regency romance book.
Mine comes from Linaria, who gave it a 1 out of 5. Her, oh my gosh, I hate you, move out. Him, okay, if that's what you want. Her, how dare you, move out. This relationship is over. Seriously, this is how the book goes. I thought that this would be a light, funny romance. Unfortunately, while the premise was absolutely ridiculous in the best way, the book took itself way too seriously. Not to mention, the book gets awfully serious in parts, which didn't vibe with me with the wacky premise. I took a chance on this book, and it definitely didn't hit a home run. I know, I'm hilarious. Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you next time. Bye. I'm starting coaching baseball tomorrow.
Oh my God, how do you feel? Do you feel inspired?
I do feel inspired.
Yeah.
I'll start a book club like afterwards. But we're just going to read like children's book.
Yeah, you're just going to read.
Take Out Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Chapter 1.
Is that so big?
Dude, that's huge. Diary of a Wimpy Kid is really big. The Babysitter's Club is really big.
Isn't that one old?
And they're redoing them.
Oh, okay.
Like they're graphic novels now. I think there are new ones too.
Oh, cute.
They have recently started doing graphic novels for Animorphs.
Cute.
And the I Survived series is really big. I really like that one. What else? Dogman. That's Captain Underpants' like sequel.
Oh, right. Yes, I have seen that.
Yeah, dude. Hella books out there. I feel like, there's all these kids reading these bangers, but no one's over here reading The Dollhouse. Did you ever read that one? The Doll Party?
No,
I think that was called.
I don't remember.
It was it was a book about these old porcelain dolls that are like can come to life, kind of like Toy Story, but then they get replaced by plastic dolls, and they're just like, fuck these plastic bitches. But then they become friends and realize like it doesn't matter what type of doll we are. We're still family.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's really cute. I think it's called the Dollhouse, the Doll Party.
I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, I have them all if you want to borrow.
Oh my God. Okay, I will.